With me in studio, Rachel Campos-Duffy, who can't get enough of me. I mean, Monday you start your week 3 hours, and then what just happened now? Fox and Friends? You must really like me.
I do. I just follow you.
It's amazing.
The show ended, and I just followed behind
It's
you,
amazing.
made my way up to your studio.
Right. So, Rachel, great to see you. The number one story is the DOGE story last night. Oh, that 7 guys and Elon Musk. Yeah, he's always giving interviews. But my takeaway, these are 7 pros, have no political, I have no idea what they care about politically. They care about numbers, systems, and organizations.
Yeah, it's really incredible that Donald Trump, and you have to give credit to Donald Trump, really. I mean, this is a guy who's a leader, a businessman, and said, yeah, we're going to bring in the best, the brightest, the smartest minds. We've got rocket scientists on this panel that Brett Baer had, and all of these guys saying we're just going to help make the system work better. They talked about making the goal being using government equivalent to going into the Apple Store, streamlining everything, getting rid of the fraud, the waste, the abuse. You heard Elon Musk there, Brian, saying this is a revolution. It's like 1776, and I just think about like when my husband Sean was thinking about, do I want to leave, my cushy job like you have, Brian, here at Fox?
That's one way to describe it.
Do I want to leave my job?
He was on the bottom line.
Yeah, he was on the bottom line. And do I want to leave? But the opportunity to do something revolutionary, which is, this cabinet, the DOGE, all of this stuff is so remarkable. Government has never functioned like this. They're using systems that were in place in 1950. They're pushing paperwork through carts in mines. They're at the FAA. You heard Sean tell you, they're using floppy disks. So this is an opportunity to really bring government into the modern age and actually get rid of the fraud, waste, and abuse for real. Not just write about it and publish a book about it like all these senators do.
So Aram Mogadashi is a DOGE engineer. He's got a rich background, extremely wealthy, and he is focusing on Social Security.
Yeah.
And listen to what he found. Cut 12.
The 2 improvements that we're trying to make to Social Security are helping people that legitimately get benefits, protect them from fraud that they experience every day on a routine basis, and also make the experience better. And I'll give you one example is at Social Security, one of the first things we learned is that they get phone calls every day of people trying to change direct deposit information. So when you want to change your bank account, you can call Social Security. We learned 40% of the phone calls that they get are from fraudsters.
40%?
That's right. Almost half.
So they're trying to get you to direct deposit into their account, not Mr. and Mrs. Johnson's account, who's 76 years old, and wondering why the check isn't showing up. Then they got to call Social Security and try to get it back.
Yeah. And there's also people who are 130 years old who are getting checks, supposedly. Think about all the trillions of dollars that went out, like the billions of dollars that went out during COVID. There was so much fraud going on there. So yes, these systems are so antiquated that they are an opening for anyone who wants to rip the government off there. And like you said, some of the fraudsters are here in the States, but some of them are foreign countries.
Yeah, here's more from what else he found in terms of how old the system is. And the other problem is the computers don't talk to each other. Yeah. So a small business loan, it's about to go through. If they were talking to Social Security, they'd realize the loan's about to go to a 9-month-old. Total fraud. But they don't have the ability because they're 60 years old. Cut 13.
I'll say the first thing that got me really excited about DOGE was learning basically the state of government computers. By some estimates, government IT costs about $100 billion, and it's funding systems that are over 50 years old, in the case of something like Social Security or the IRS. So really critical systems are old, they cost a lot of money to maintain, and they can be, the efforts to improve them are often very delayed. So I thought I'm a software engineer that maybe could make a difference here, and that's really what inspired me at a high level.
So does he sound like a political operative out to destroy people in the name of Donald Trump?
Everyone who I've talked to that's in my husband's department has said everything you thought was wrong and antiquated and inefficient about government is 1,000 times worse than you actually think. Even with some of these systems that Sean is seeing, they're saying it costs more to maintain the system, this ancient system, than it is to operate the system. Or replace it. Yeah, I mean, it's like you should just replace it, but nobody wants to go through that. And people make money also on contracts replacing fixing the system, because we have systems running on floppy disks.
Crazy.
We have, until Elon Musk came, the president couldn't send one email out to every government employee. That's something that Elon Musk said we got to fix right away.
He did right away too,
He
right?
did. He did it like this.
Yeah.
But the point is,
and he made that offer, you can leave.
Yeah, exactly. Why did it take this? How many, administrations kept just papering over this problem,
Well,
and then
you
he's
just sent
finally
me
taking charge of it. And as you said today, they want to burn up his cars as a result.
Yeah,
the
so
Teslas.
As your husband is Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, what did he say DOGE has done within his organization since he took over? Have they helped? Are they working in conjunction? Are they communicative?
Yes, they're working together. I mean, first of all, they're providing really good advice on what to do about the FAA system, the air traffic control system. Yeah. So they're providing advice there. They're finding inefficiencies, all kinds of stuff. One of the things that Sean did that I thought was really interesting, this is they were charging people to park in the parking lot that the government owns. And the reason was because I guess Pete Buttigieg and the liberals wanted people to take public transportation. So they wanted to penalize people for parking, for driving. And Sean's like, no, we're not going to do that. If you want to drive, it's a free country. And this building is owned by the government. We shouldn't be charging our own employees to...
Because that clown put on his little bike helmet and hopped on his bike, was able to get there.
And pretended, because he actually drove in the vehicle that Sean drives, because they're on Secret Service. Yeah, he put the bike in the back of the SUV, and then he drove to a certain point where the cameras were waiting, and then he took his bike out of the SUV.
Such a clown.
And then drove. It's clown world.
It is. It's crazy. And just that whole sense of penalizing people because they don't have an electric car or whatever.
Yes.
We see the congestion pricing in New York City. And now we see the hypocrisy of it all, because the number one electric car maker in the entire country, Tesla, the most successful electric car ever, and who made their own power stations, not depending on the government, because Joe Biden made 9, and this guy put the whole country, filled the whole country with them. They're blowing them all up and putting graffiti on everywhere. So that's how much that means. I think we finally broke the green fever, I hope. And the DEI fever is smashed, I hope.